So hello everyone, and welcome once again to Global Scholar Spotlight, a series powered by International Study Council to showcase real stories of students shaping their future through international education. We are here to share another inspiring success story for students who dream of studying abroad on a fully funded scholarship. Today, we are excited to feature Ruth from Nigeria, a dedicated pharmacist who earned a fully funded Erasmus Mundus Scholarship to study public health and disaster. Her journey shows how healthcare professionals can expand their impact far beyond clinical practice. Through her experience, we will dive into what it takes to stand out in a competitive program and how global health can open new career paths. Ruth, thank you so much for joining us. We are really glad to have you here to share your story within the next generation of global scholar. So how are you? How are you feeling?
Hi, Mehdi. Thank you for this opportunity to clarify. Can you hear me clearly? You can hear me, right?
I can hear you clearly, loud and clear. Everything is good.
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm so happy to be here. So I'm all in.
All right, thank you. So without further ado, let's dive into the discussion.
Okay.
So Ruth, many students often doubt if their background is good enough. Can you start by introducing yourself and sharing your journey as a pharmacist and how you realized that public health in disaster was a path that you could pursue?
Okay, so I'm going to start by introducing myself.
Please.
Okay, my name is Ruth, generally called Ruth. I'm a pharmacologist by training, and I graduated in 2018 to be precise, back in Nigeria, where I had my first degree. All my life, I'd only wanted to do pharmacy practice, hospital practice, and that was just it. But volunteering was like a thing for me. I would always volunteer in public health outreaches, medical outreaches on the field and off the field. You know, when medical practitioners will have to come together and just give free drugs, medications in vulnerable communities and underserved regions like that. So it was just a thing I was doing in my pharmacology degree. Then I got into the workspace. I started with pharmacy practice in hospital. Then I moved into data science, and I wanted to have like a scholarship. I know I wanted to do my master's, but the question is in what subject? But I wanted something more defining. And why I decided to shift, but then I realized that since I'm a pharmacologist by training, pharmacy practice and all of that, and I've been into the healthcare space for like 7 years now. So I realized, apart from dispensing drug, I realized that I organize a lot of projects as well related to public health, maternal health, child health. So because I wanted to know more, I wanted to do more. So I realized that having a second degree in pharmacy is not what I need. Or pharmacology. So that was where the turning point started from. I wanted to just leverage what I was doing in community and public health. Then I started scouting for opportunities in public health. So I checked across different boards and how was the desire for public health. That's how we started. So I felt which course has that passion to give back, to solve problems related to the health of the population. And that's how I got to realize that it's public health for me. But I didn't know the path and all of that. And I don't know if you've asked me the question as to why this scholarship, but how I moved from pharmacology or pharmacy practice to public health was because I was already running projects through volunteering in public health. So because I felt I wanted to do more to scale it up globally beyond the workplace, I felt I need to go for a master's in public health. And that was where the drive and the turning point started from. So I'll have to just stop here for now.
Okay, wow, excellent. That is really excellent to know that how you got motivated to pursue your master's degree from pharmacology to public health. I would ask you this question about Erasmus Mundus Scholarship particularly, because a lot of students are hearing about Erasmus Mundus Scholarship for the first time this year.
Sure.
So how did you come across the program and what convinced you that it is something that worth applying for?
Okay. I want to establish the fact that after I graduated from school in 2018, because I noticed that, because I graduated with a very good result, I felt, I can get any scholarship regardless. So how I got to know about Erasmus was I've tried all the scholarships.
Okay.
I've tried things like Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. I've tried Chivney Scholarship. I've tried internal scholarship in the UK as well. It's either I get the admission with partial fundings, or I get admission with no fundings, or I get the rejection letters. So imagine I've made about over 50 applications. Wow. But I never tried Erasmus. I used to see Erasmus. But in my mind, I wanted a 1-year master's. I just feel I've spent like 5, 6, 7 years in the workspace. I'm looking for fast money. But the turning point shifted, I think, was in 2024 when I got into Cambridge. And I was supposed to get the MasterCard scholarship to fund me, University of Cambridge. I got admission into University of Cambridge. Then I felt, because Cambridge was just 10 months, I have my master's degree and all of that. But after the funding declined, and that was when I just heard the funding just declined at the nick of time. And I had gone through stages of interview. It was just left for me to just do the interview for my funding, and it didn't work. So that was like the point where I felt I was done with scholarship. Then I was coming back from work at some point, and I heard one of my colleagues saying that the sister just got Erasmus. I was like, I'll go on YouTube. I used to see Erasmus. Like, Erasmus is 2 years. I don't want to be in school for 2 years. And all of that. So I just felt, let me just try. Let me just check. And prior to the time I applied for Cambridge, I'd already applied for one Erasmus program. I was just playing around. I was not serious. So I didn't get it. So 2025, I thought I was going to be serious. So I went online. I went to Google. I saw Erasmus. Then there was this website. I belonged to this scholarship group. Then they posted a link of the catalog. I now typed public health because I had already applied and gotten admission in public health. So I wanted something related to public health. So when I saw the catalog, because I know somebody close to me that has gotten the scholarship because the sister made it, I felt if she could, and funny enough, she just got out of school. So I felt I have the experience. I have everything, so I can try. And that was when I searched. I saw public health, the main public health program, and I saw public health and disasters. And when I went through the profile, I loved it. It was related to what I was doing. And that was how I found out. I've literally been hearing about Erasmus because if you've been in this scholarship game, you literally know all the scholarships all the years. So I already know, but I just felt, no, I'm not applying to Erasmus. I don't want to go to Europe and all of that. But after the encounter with my colleague and the sister got it, I felt since UK wasn't working for me, it was working, but no funding. So I felt, let me try Europe. And that was how I decided to be serious. And I felt if I'm going to do it this time around, I have to give it my best. So I started studying the catalog, and that was basically the turning point how I knew about Erasmus. Yeah.
Wow, excellent. When you were saying that you have been applying to like 50 programs and they got over, wow. You know, I was feeling, I don't know, because I got rejection maybe around 30 programs before Erasmus. Okay. I mean, literally, I got selected some other programs as well. I mean, fully funded. But I was a bit sad when, I was getting rejections after rejections. But listening your story, like you got rejected 50 times, more than 50 times. Wow. Okay. Now it's a relief for me. Okay. There are people who have been applying more than me. Wow.
And it's just that, sorry, to add the 50 times, it was like somewhere admissions without fundings.
I see.
Let me clarify that. They will give you the admission and tell you fund yourself. And that's like the cumulative of the 50 applications I made.
Yes, I got it. Yeah. Thank you. So Ruth, many applicants, they worry about their previous field. They think they might not match their program. So what challenges did you face when connecting your pharmacy background to public health and disaster management? And how did you explain the transition in your application?
Okay, I know I had that because my undergraduate degree was very, very, very apart from public health. So I came from I have to leverage the fact that for the past 7 years, I have the hands-on experience, work experience in public health, because I've been leading projects in public health. I've been volunteering for public health. So I have like the pictures and the files to show. But when it comes to the undergraduate certificate. So what I did, I leveraged online courses. And that's where we have Coursera, we have the World Health Organization Learning Program, the UN Learning Program, certification courses online. So since I realized that my undergraduate degree does not align, but I need to be able to prove that I have the written knowledge of it, I started taking courses. So there was this program I saw online, disasterready.org. So a lot of free, disasterready.org. So I saw a lot of free courses I took. In fact, I took over 10 courses on Disaster Ready. Wow. Then I went to WHO learning platform as well. I took like over 5. I'm just trying to, let me just say cumulatively, I did over 35 online courses related to the curriculum, because I had to read through the public health and disaster syllabus and everything. So I was quite selective in the courses that I decided to do. I ensured that they aligned with what is on the profile as well. So to bridge that gap, I had to take multiple online courses. I also came from the fact that I'm not just transitioning. I've been in the public health space because I was working in the pharmaceutical sector as a corporate social responsibility officer. So what that means is if you're in the corporate space, you're leading public health projects centered on vulnerable populations. So I told them, I'm not just coming with the ed knowledge, I'm coming with the practical experience when it comes to project management in health, in disaster management and the like. So I was able to come from the standpoint of my over 7 years experience. And I didn't stop there. I went as far as telling them I have the work experience and I've been able to bridge the gap when it comes to courses by taking multiple online courses. So another thing I did was all the certificates. I didn't take courses without certificates. All the certificates, I merged them together into a file. And attached it as part of my applications. Then I also linked some of them on my LinkedIn profile. Then I added my LinkedIn profile so they could see as a proof that I'm not saying that I've taken these courses. There are evidences to these things as well. So that was one of the ways I bridged the gap. And so every project I had taken related to the program, I ensured I had pictures and videos to show, and I linked them to my CV that I submitted. So for anybody trying to transition from any field, I would want to suggest that you ensure that you have maybe like a volunteering experience or an internship experience to align. And if the person feels it's not enough, they can take multiple online courses. There's EDX, there's LinkedIn, there's Coursera, there's disaster management, there's Save the Children International. There are so many platforms if we can leverage the online space, and that's it.
I think, Ruth, this is a very much good piece of advice, because I see a lot of students, maybe they're studying different background, but they are really interested to pursue their higher studies in public health. So the way you explained, like this is how they can bridge the gap as well. If they're interested into public health, they can take multiple online courses, which are really good. Even I also took a lot of courses, as you mentioned, from Coursera, from disaster.org. I also took a lot of courses from those online training portal. This is absolutely helpful. So Ruth, students often struggle with the motivation letter and selecting programs. Can you walk us through how you planned your application and what you focused in your SOP, and how you choose your referees and how you shortlisted the program track?
Okay. So I would like to start first with the understanding the program and time management planning ahead. I didn't just start applying 3 months or 2 months before the program, because I knew that I was, and let me say this, scholarship application is not this eat and run approach. It's like a full-time job. You know, you want to apply, you need to give enough time to it.
Yes.
Because it's highly competitive, and for us to be able to stand in that space to compete globally, you need to be well prepared. So for me, practically, let me just say I prepared 1 hour or 6 months ahead, or 6 months to 1 year ahead of the application time. So I already knew that, okay, these are the requirements. First, I need to write an English language exam, though I know as a Nigerian it's not compulsory. So I started first by taking the IELTS. I did it like, let's just say beginning of the year, I passed. Then I ticked my checklist. I had like a checklist I was running with, like a file. I ticked it. Then I said, okay, let's go to the next one. The 3 major things I need: my motivation letter, my CV in Europass format, and my referees, because these things are key. So what I did, I know they said, because I'd read through the catalog very well, they said minimum of 2. So because I knew I couldn't settle for less, in my head, I said I was going to submit 4 references, because I already have like the academic experience and the workplace. So I went ahead to tell my referees and like my direct line manager, that you're going to apply for references for, because there are people that I have close rapport with. I have that relation. So I would want to encourage people to have relationship with the people you work with. That's where you can have access to them. So for my academics, I already have like a template, because one was my project supervisor. The other one was like my level advisor. So he's like a friend to me. So they already gave me 2 templates that I have in my file that I've been using. So it wasn't much difficulty. They know me very well. They know my work. They can speak on my character, my credibility, my skills. So when it comes to picking references, you shouldn't just pick random people. You should pick people that can speak a lot about you, even go above and beyond. And most of the time, they can even share the template with you and tell you, can you read? Is it okay? Is it fine with you? Some will even tell you, make a draft. I will just edit it for you. So understand that in picking a referee, the person must be close to you. So the same thing for my place of work. There were people that, in fact, they've supervised the project I've taken. They have credibility to it. So when it comes to picking a referee, these people must be close to you. They can speak for your credibility, and they are people that you have close rapport with. But let me jump back, because I know I really want to explain the motivation letter properly.
Please, yeah.
So another thing I didn't just come up with something. I decided to sit with myself and ask myself, why this program? Because I believe if you can have a reason for a why, it's going to be very easier for us to, write a very good motivational letter. Then I belong to this group. That's why it's always good to join a community, Erasmus Mundus network in Nigeria. So they share success stories, they share templates as to how to write motivational letters. So there was this handbook that they have on tips on writing motivational letter. I read the handbook as well. Then I went to YouTube. There are a lot of resources on YouTube as well, how to write motivational letter. I ensured that I spent at least 1 hour every day seeing one video and reading the handbook. It's about consistency and discipline, because I work literally 8 to 5 p.m. every day, full-time work. So by the time I come back close from work, I spend minimum of 1 hour every day. And the thing is, the first thing is to get a draft, write everything that comes to your mind. Even though it's 2 pages, just write everything. So from there, since I was able to know my why, I get to know, what do I want to solve? What problem in public level do I want to solve? I was able to resolve, okay, I have a problem that I want to solve in mind. Then what solution am I providing at the moment to solve the problem? And how do I want to scale it? And how will this public health and disaster help me scale it? So I could get reason to it. So when I realized that I know my why, I have the problem statements, I know what I'm currently doing to solve the problem, and how this program is going to help me. Then I started the draft. So for anybody that wants to write a motivation letter for public health program in Erasmus, the first thing is have a problem statement.
Okay.
What problem do you want to solve? Then number 2, what are you currently doing to solve the problem? Because we can't say this is a problem I want to solve and you're not doing anything in solving that problem.
Right.
So the thing is, what are you currently doing to solve the problem? Since you're solving it, why do you need to take this program, and how is this program going to help you? And what skills are you bringing to solve this problem? So I was able to identify the problem statement, what I'm currently doing, and how the Erasmus Mundus Public Health and Disaster will help me scale up what I'm currently doing at the moment. Then my short-term and long-term goals as well. So I'll just do like a brief overview as to how I wrote it for practical, because I'm a very practical person when it comes to motivation letter. So I stated that I currently work in the healthcare space where I champion projects that is centered on maternal and child health care in Lagos, Nigeria. And I leverage storytelling skills. So I was able to state and mention that during one of these outreaches, I realized that there is a gap when it comes to access to care and the impact on flooding on the healthcare system in this community. And ever since then, we've been able to provide over 3,000 women with kits to help them manage in times of disaster. But I realized that resources are not enough, and my knowledge gaps are standing in the way for me to be able to do more. So I came in contact with the Public Health and Disaster Program. And through this program, I realized that I can leverage the knowledge to help amplify what I'm currently doing. So I mentioned 1 or 2 professors that I know they are working in Africa. I mentioned their name. And I said that since I'm an African lady, it would be easier for me to learn from her. Then I also mentioned the skills I'm bringing into the program. So I mentioned that I'm good with projects management, coordinating projects, that I will bring it while I also want to learn from other scholars. Then I mentioned my goals, that after the program, I hope to use this skill to amplify and work with one of the top-notch international agencies in the world. Short, 250 words, I did it. So I made that first draft like that, but with time, I was refining them. Also, I gave other scholars to help me review. So they gave their feedback as well. Take this out, take this out. So I had about 2 to 3 individuals help me review. And that was the way I was able to map out my motivation letter. I hope that is clear. Then coming back to the CV, because imagine you telling people that are already in the program to help you review, they will give a very sincere advice. But some scholars, they want to review or write their essays themselves, and they feel motivational and they feel I've written the best. But if somebody gives like a second eye to it to help you review, that's why sometimes it's good to leverage existing scholars to help you review them so they can give you the insider advice to it. And that was what helped me too as well. Then when it comes to the CV, there are so many templates online. So people say, I don't know how to write an Europa CV and all of that. So just like the community of people, like the way I'm speaking to PHID on this webinar, I attended so many webinars like this too. So if I'm attending webinars, I got insights as to this is the way your CV should look like, this is the way you shouldn't do, these are the mistakes you shouldn't make. So I attended a lot of webinars and training. From there, I was able to use samples online, then my own samples online. So I also gave it out for review, and that's where I was able to put my work together. There are sections on from work experience to academic credentials to seminar to conferences. I added everything in my CVs. And for everything I was adding to my CV, I ensured I added links to everything so they can see the evidence. So that was the way I was able to put my CV together. And I took 2 to 3 months. I sent it out. I looked the package. My referees, they sent the 4 references to me ahead of the time. My CV, I had it ready 2 months before the time. My motivation letter was ready 2 months ahead of the time. So I just attached, and I had my IELTS as well ready. So by the time I had everything ready, I had filled in everything, I had to spend time reviewing and checking for errors. Reviewing and checking for errors. When I felt I was cool and okay with it, I submitted the application. And when it comes to drafting CV, it's not like a one-time thing. We shouldn't just put our academic. For some people that I know, they are A students, they're first class, they're distinction, they feel, okay, I can just leverage academics. What other things can you add to your CV? The work experience, the projects you've done, the presentations you've made, the seminar you've attended, everything, align it. There are templates online to work with. So leverage existing templates to write your CVs. And please, I know some people want to use ChatGPT now to write everything, and it is not original. I'm coming to that. Leveraging AI too. I'm not saying it's not good. For me, I leverage things like Grammarly to check my errors in my motivation letter and the CV as well. But it's just for editing. The original draft should come from the prospective applicant. ChatGPT and AI tools are just to fine-tune and check for errors and make it more presentable. I'll stop here for now. Thank you.
Wow, excellent. I mean, I'm really impressed how you articulated the comprehensive thing in terms of CV, motivational letter, referees, and overall planning. I mean, I would just mention a few words that really stuck in my mind. That you say planning ahead of time, and reviewing by the experts or the previous scholars, and attending the webinars or looking for the informations, and also maintaining a checklist. I think these are some of the crucial skills that everybody should follow if they really want to get a fully funded scholarship. This is totally, excellent experience that you have shared. And Ruth, I would like to ask you a follow-up questions. Even though you knew that for the Nigerian, you don't need IELTS score, but why did you take that test?
That's a very good question. Because I know that, for someone that I've gotten multiple, funny enough, all the scholarship applications I've been making prior to this Erasmus, I've been using this English proficiency certificate for my university, and I've been getting admissions. But I realized it because when I went through this Erasmus page for all the Nigerians that have won it, I realized that some of them did not take the IELTS, some did. So I realized if I want to, and I realized as the year goes, scholarship becomes more competitive. So I thought in my head that, let's just say 2 Nigerians, for example, are applying for this, and they need to pick 1 Nigerian, and all our experiences are equal. And let's just assume that they need to break the tie. Maybe we have equal mark. So in my head, I said I'm not going to leave anything undone. So since they said it's not compulsory, and I calculated it, if I take IELTS and I have a very good score, and this other person applies without IELTS, if they want to pick, it's the person that has IELTS to be pick. So that was the calculation that I did, that when it comes to English test, I'm going to pay the money, and I did it. So I just had it in my head that there are times where there will be time I need to drop 1 person from the same country. So I'm in a situation that across all boards, when they want to check mates, nothing would make me pull down. And it was even when I attended the webinar, they mentioned it, that somebody that uses a certificate of proficiency or did not apply, somebody that has IELTS, they will definitely go for the one that has IELTS because there's a proof. So I just thought, since I have the money, I should do it. And in my head, I felt since I've been getting rejections over time, maybe or not. So I just felt, in fact, everything should be complete. I was willing to go all in. If it to be anybody, it has to be me. So that was the major reason I did. And funny enough, Nigerians that have been coming into this program, some of them did not even take the IELTS.
No, it's true. It's true. Even, for example, I know a lot of students, whenever they see some programs, they mention, for example, they accept a MOI, they don't want to take the IELTS test. They just want to apply with their MOI. Yeah. But listening to your story, I'm pretty much sure that the way you calculate it, the risk-benefit ratio, you see, if someone having the same experience with you and you have the IELTS score, I think there are more possibilities that you will be selected for that particular program. Yeah, absolutely. Very much interesting point that you have mentioned here. So Ruth, most of the students, they wonder what exactly makes a strong profile. From your experience, what specific things helped your application stand out in such a competitive pool? Do you have any points or something that you want to mention?
So I would want to mention, I would always bring it down to my storytelling skills, because it's very easy for particularly distinction students to feel that, okay, my academic proof, I'm not trying to push it aside that it's not important. Getting a very good grade is not important, it's good. But it's not enough to make a strong profile. To say, okay, because I'm a distinction student, I'm a first class student, A+ student, then it makes a strong profile. Yeah. For a profile to be strong, it has to be holistically strong, like not in one space. That's when it comes to academics, you have the grade to stand in the first place. Then the thing is work. I know some people will say, okay, I'm just coming out of school, I'm a fresh graduate. Work doesn't have to be the 4 walls of a work. It might just be internship. Yeah. It might just be volunteering experiences. It might just be projects you did for 1 month. I for one, believe is how you present your skills. You might do something for 1 week, but the quality of the 1 week will be more than somebody that have been somewhere for 1 year. It's not about how we put the projects together. It's not really based on quantity, but quality. But that quality, you can appropriate it in quantity in such a way that it tells. So aside academics, what work are you doing or have you done? It might just be for 1 month, 2 months. You don't have to be, in the workspace for 5 years. It might just be even for 3 months, 1 month, but volunteer. That's the workspace. So have a strong profile. Okay, we don't stop at academic and workplace. What about conferences, seminar? There are times where, they're having health, and this webinar, someone will I don't have money to travel. Leverage online webinar. Most of the webinars that I use are virtual events and meetings that I just scout. And we can even use Google. You can use ChatGPT to check current conferences related to public health and disaster. ChatGPT will pull out a list of virtual webinars you should attend for probably people that are just fresh out of school. But for some people that already have the work experience, there are time for you to, there are physical conferences you should attend. That's another part of it, as well as publication. For me, I know I have one publication. I had one publication that I worked on. And some people, okay, publication is not enough. Then I remembered back then in school, we had a lot of laboratory projects, a lot of research we're doing, undergraduate projects as well. So I combined everything together as research experience and as well publication as well. My lab work from 200 level to my final year, that experience. So you see, I'm talking about academics, I'm talking about workplace, I'm talking about conferences, seminar, workshops, and the likes. Then I have the IELTS as well. Then online certification as well. Then volunteering experience. Then leadership experience as well. So basically, for one to have a very strong profile is to first understand the eligibility criteria of that program.
Yeah.
If the student can understand the eligibility criteria of that program, they would know how to meet all the criteria and even surpass it. For example, when I was applying for this public health and disaster program, when I went through the eligibility criteria, I realized that I checked all the lists. But in myself, I asked myself, what additional thing am I going to bring? So there was a section where they asked any additional documents. So what I did was, all the leadership certificates I have, aside academics, I attached everything and I uploaded it.
Wow.
So I realized that additional conferences that I had attended I could not place, I attached everything and I uploaded everything. Pictures, I used an additional file. So if the program you're applying to, even though it's not public health but related to another thing, is asking for additional thing, add it together, because we never can tell what the committee will see that will draw them to it. So to make a strong profile, just ensure that it's robust and channel it right. I'm not trying to say that all the experiences should put it in. We should be able to filter out what works and aligns to the mission and the objective of that program. So for me, I think that was what helped my profile to be strong, because I don't think if there's any section in the application that requires entry, I literally filled everything. I didn't leave any space blank. So for some sense, I feel, okay, I can leave this place blank, or that thing will cover up for me. No, we should ensure we fill it, no matter how little it is. Even the aspect they said, understanding of another language, I indicated that I have a basic knowledge in French. To show that I'm willing to learn. Then they asked for basic, I indicated Spanish because I already registered Duolingo learning basics just because I wanted to get him. So I didn't leave any space. Now ask me, I don't think I've continued my Duolingo Spanish classes. I've not, but I had to put it there. So that's just basically it. Understanding, meeting the eligibility criteria and surpassing it if it provides opportunity for additional document. So that's it.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of students, they are stuck because they think, oh my God, I don't have publications, so I don't have research experience. But reality, they do actually. Some students, they have one or two publications. They think, oh my God, my publications are not enough for a fully funded scholarship. And they did a lot of research activities in their university or maybe in some other projects, but they don't think of articulating all those projects in their CV as a research experience. I see a lot of students, they hesitate to put them in their CV as a research experience.
If only they understand that they are not really after, sometimes they just want to see that you have the potential.
Exactly.
It's the potential. If you have the potential to do this, then we can train you to do better. And the thing is, sometimes when we try to do things in a hurry, they forget. That's why our advice is everything you've ever done, write them down. Then when you pen them down, you can now begin to filter what works, what doesn't work. Because what you think will not work is actually what you need to get you in. Nothing is too small. I had just one publication, and the publication was like a joint work. I assisted somebody. So I sat to myself and asked myself, you did a lot of research back then, the lab work. You can just add it in, then you learn along and that was it for me. So
that's true. I mean, universities, they are not expecting you like you are an expert of research and you come here to train other students to do research. No, they just want to see that you have the basic knowledge and you know the steps of the research, so that because, you have a thesis part of your master's program, so that you qualify to accomplish your thesis in your last semester. That's the whole purpose. Because if you're already expert in your research field, then what's the point of coming to the university to learn about research. Yeah, I think you said it really right. I mean, students, they should not just be scared. Oh my God, I don't have so many publications. Would they accept it or not? I think they should definitely try and explain whatever the research experience they have in their university, in their other projects. They can mention it explicitly in their CV. It has nothing wrong with that. Ruth, a lot of future applicants, they are nervous about moving to Europe, like multiple countries, because, in Erasmus program, you have to travel across different countries across Europe. So how are you adjusting studying in a different European universities, like academically, culturally, and socially? How are you doing it? Could you please share your experience?
Well, for me, it's been good. Not really good. It's been amazing because back then in Nigeria, I travel a lot. I move a lot. So it's something I'd always anticipated to just maybe try international travel someday. And for Europe, I feel particularly being in Spain has been very chilled for me. Coming from a very busy place in Nigeria, for me, it's been amazing. Sometimes, maybe because I'm still in my new semester, I can't really, for somebody maybe people that don't like traveling, they might feel, okay, it's daunting. But for me, the ability to be able to move, have access to multiple countries at the same time is inviting, because part of the key responsibilities of Erasmus is to get you to move. That's why it's called mobility program. So if you're not ready to move, then maybe Erasmus is not for you. But the thing is, the more you travel, the more exposure you get. Imagine for me now, in my cohorts, you have people from different countries. The ability to be able to see things from other people's perspective, to be able to learn the thought process of another person. In fact, to learn from somebody as far as Pakistan, Bangladesh, from Brazil and the US and so many places, different continents, Nicaragua. It just shows that there's beauty in diversity, and it's not even going to be possible if at all I were to be in Nigeria. There's no way I'll be able to learn from another person. And the experiences that I think I have, it's so amazing to see other students with different kind of experience, and I had to tell them, what can I learn from you? And they also learn from me as well. And in that knowledge sharing, we realize that we even know much more than we think we have. So it's been amazing. And another thing, trying new food. I come from a place where we eat very spicy food, and here you literally had to eat
blind food. I know what you mean.
But the thing is, I came with some of my food from my country, Nigeria, but I know it's part of culture integration is to be able to learn and eat, and it's been great. And the fact that I had to learn to eat, take something from my colleague's country. I know I tried a Pakistani dish recently today, and it was pretty good. Enjoyable. So that's the fun of it, making friends with people and integrating into their life, eating their food, talking with them, making friends. So it's been super amazing for me. So that's what I want to say. So for any student I want to come to Europe, I tell you won't regret it. The fact that even though it's just one person you would meet, it can be life-changing. The friendship, the network, the knowledge, the culture will one day serve even in maybe job opportunities, research opportunities. So far, so good. It's been 9 over 10.
Wow. I think who are listening to your story, they would be very much excited to start their journey in program like Erasmus.
For the people you would get to meet, it's a 9 over 10.
Yes, that's true. Ruth, we are almost getting towards the end of this session. I wish we could have more time to discuss more things. So I do have last 2 questions for you. So students who want to understand the real value of the program, particularly Masters in Public Health and Disaster. So what practical skills or mindset shift have you gained so far through this program, and that you feel every student, they should know about it? Like who are interested to this program?
Okay, like the practical skills I've gained so far in this program.
Yes.
So for me, to just call it straight up, I've always been in the 4 walls of corporate work, business and all of that. For me, if there's anything I've learned is the practicality of, how public health, fits into disaster management. I'd always seen public health from a one-way perspective. If it's not maternal and child health, if it's not health promotion, if it's not this, if it's not that. So learning to understand risk in details, how to mitigate risk, identify the circle that risk management takes is like the major skills I've learned. And another thing that I know for me in this public health program that I know that I've learned is my research skills. The fact that I could start and write a very, very robust, research profile, proposal, project is another thing. It's a different thing when I would always want to come from my field as a pharmacist where you just dispense drug and all of that interface with people. But this program actually taught me the essence of academic writing. That's academic writing for me is top notch. Yeah. And number two, the fact that I get to connect with professors and lecturers from different countries. We see the struggles, we understand their presentation and teaching style. And the fact that they had to put us in group, the ability to work as a team has been amplified. In fact, I got closer to somebody because we had to work on the same group as a team. So the fact that I have been able to build my ability to work with, because not everybody can work as a team in group. So that's team building skills is top notch for me. Then number three, the fact that I wanted to mention something about as I worked presentation skills. The fact that you have to stand before people to present and you have to rotate it is another skill that is essential to be able to communicate what you know in a very simplified manner for people to understand. So these are the basic skills for now. It's teamwork, presentation skills, academic writing, and those are like the three top-notch skills essential. And the fact that I understand more about disaster management as a circle. So it's not just tilted towards health. You talk about the aspect of crisis management, talk about the part of vulnerability, talk about the social impact of disaster as well. Even the financial impact, holistically, this knowledge I did not have them before. So we are progressing. I know I'm still getting more skills, but these are the ones that I have for now. Yeah.
Excellent. And a follow-up question would be like, where do you see yourself contributing in public health or humanitarian work after graduation?
Sorry for the expression, but I see myself leading international projects when it comes to the impact of disaster management, when it comes to maternal and child health. I'm a project manager person, and the trend is for project managers is increasing. So I see myself working with top-notch international organizations, championing projects that has to do with disaster mitigation, disaster preparedness. The major thing for me is not just disaster response, is how we can prepare effectively and actually mitigate it. So being able to lead projects that will cause this change for countries as well. That's on the side. Then I also see myself in public health and disaster management advocacy. Most people don't know much about, they don't really advocate. If you go on LinkedIn now, people just talk about public health, this one, that one, the COVID-19, the non-communicable and communicable diseases, but it's very difficult for you to see an advocate of disaster management. Right. So advocate how the basic things, the hazards we see, as little as building a house close to a drainage system. People don't see these hazards. So being able to advocate and have a platform for advocacy, I see myself in these slides. In the long run, I know it's going to be bigger than that, but this is like the clear goal. Managing global projects as we get disaster management and public health. Maybe we're going to do a PhD. We never can tell, but this is where I see myself. Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best in your future journey. I hope that I will see you doing whatever you are aiming for in your life. Yeah. Finally, this is our last question. So many students applying this year are feeling a bit overwhelmed. So what honest, practical advice would you give them, especially those who are unsure about their background, confidence, or chances of getting selected? If there is any piece of advice that you want to share to the students.
I will tell you, take it one day at a time. So when I mean one day at a time, one step at a time, I think the feeling of being overwhelmed is coming from too many informations, too many things we've done. I don't know how to put it, or even some, I think I've not done enough. So the first thing is to start by have like, if some people are still very traditional and you want to write with your pen and your paper, just create a section. These are the eligibility criteria. Align what you have at the moment and the gaps, what you need to fill, and put a time frame to it. Understand that the deadline is December or January. Then try to find every day 1 hour, 2 hours between 6 to 9 p.m. and we invest 2 hours trying to gather knowledge in the gaps I know I don't have. Just say, okay, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks from today till the ending of November. Then December, I know I have everything all done. And give your best. And another thing that makes people feel overwhelmed, maybe they check the profile of another person and if you, I don't measure to this. So take it one step at a time. Outline what you have. Some people can create an Excel file. You can say motivation letter, check. CV, check. Conferences, check. List everything. And every day, even though it's for 1 hour, revisit one of these profiles every day. 1 hour every day for 2 weeks. You tell that you've done a lot. But when you try to say, okay, I want to spend 6 hours, once you start experiencing mental fog. Yeah. So I believe in just taking it one step at a time and put a timeline to everything. And once you're able to put a timeline to everything, you realize that you've achieved more than you expect. Then when you have the comprehensive file, take everything together and have somebody take a second look at it. That way you won't be pressured, you won't be overwhelmed, you would properly outline the necessary information in your application. And I tell you, there's no harm in shooting our shots. In fact, we are greater than we think we are, if only we just know how to outline it right. And that's why we've been able to put, the organizer have been able to put this together. Have a time management schedule, 1 hour every day, have a checklist and an Excel file, and I tell you that feeling of being overwhelmed will be just far away. And that's what I have to say. And I wish us all the best, because I know these are the strategies that work for me too. Because at some point when I was applying, I felt overwhelmed at some point. But because I had to tell myself, I'm going to take 1 hour every day. Sometimes even doing 1 hour, I realize I have more energy to do 2 hours. Then when I realize I'm having the mental fog, I leave it. The next day, I come back. Then weekends, maybe Saturday and Sunday, when I have enough time, I know I have to sit there from morning till night, editing. When I know I'm tired in the evening, I leave it. I come back to it. And before you know it, we're good to go. Some people can work under pressure. If you're a kind of person that feel overwhelmed, I wouldn't advise you to start putting things together a month to the deadline or 2 weeks. It's not advisable. So this is the right time to start. So when it's 2 weeks before the time, you've even gone over it over and over and over and again, you're sure to press the submit button. That's it.
Yes, very much so. I think, as you mentioned, a scholarship is not like a one-time thing that you just apply and you get it. It's a continuous process. It's a journey. So consistency is the key here. For example, spending 1 hour every day in a consistent manner, I think that will bring you the ultimate result. Otherwise, if you just, for example, if you work 6 hours a day and then you feel overwhelmed and then you give it up, so it doesn't bring you any result. Sure. Oh, wow. I really wish I could hear more of your stories, and I'm pretty sure the viewers who will be watching this video, they will learn a lot from your story. And you mentioned so many things. You shared your real journey to the students. I am pretty sure that it will be helpful for them who are preparing themselves or who will be preparing themselves for the next year for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. So, Ruth, thank you so much for sharing your excellent journey with us. Your story reminds us that when purpose and preparation come together, opportunities like Erasmus Mundus become achievable. And to our viewers, whether you are in healthcare or any other related field, Ruth experiences shows that your background can open global doors when you align your goals with impact. On behalf of the International Study Council and the Global Scholar Spotlight team, we wish Ruth continued success and thank for your inspiring so many future scholars.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say before we close our session?
I just want to say for prospective scholarship applicants I think rejection is part of the process. We shouldn't In fact, the more the rejections, the more the resilience to do it better, to have that retrospective thinking as what I can do better. And we shouldn't be afraid or just give up because of one rejections. And I want to tell us to be flexible enough to diversify. If I'd been so rigid that it has to be pharmacy, it has to be public, has to be this path. And to start with, I applied to over 5 Erasmus programs. I got into some. I got passion. So we should not be limited to one. There are other fields that are aligned to it. And I believe with the rejections, with the effort, with the discipline, it just takes 1 year to transform the whole process. And I believe we'll get that 1 year. That's all we need. And it's going to come. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who is watching. And we look forward to bringing you more inspiring stories in the next episode. Thank you, Ruth, once again. Have a very good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mehdi.
Bye.
Bye.